We're rolling.
Welcome back to episode 34 of the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies, everyone. I'll get that out right one day.
Good start.
Sponsored by, yeah, right. A lot going on here, people. Sponsored by Fightback CBD. Get 15% off your CBD order at fightbackcbd.com with code JJD. I'm Milton Campus, purple belt out of Fight Sports Coral Springs. You can check me out on Instagram at Uncle Milty BJJ. This guy's back in the studio today.
Yeah,
welcome back, Miguel.
Yep, Miguel Lecarica, blue belt, Fight Sports Coral Springs under Felipe and Sofia Amarante.
What's going on, brother? It's been
Not
a long
much.
time.
I know, yeah, I miss it.
What, the show or the jiu-jitsu?
All of it.
You haven't been training? When was the last time you trained?
I trained on Wednesday.
Oh, okay. You're making it sound like you've been out for like
I didn't go today.
misses-
I didn't go today, and I'm not gonna be able to go tomorrow.
He misses the happy endings.
It was fun today. We had a good time.
Yeah, I bet.
Big Kyle was there. I mentioned Big Boy, 4 or 5 year
Bombao.
white belt. You know, one of our.
He's a what?
He's moved a lot, so
Yeah.
he's never been around to get his blue, but he's probably up there a couple of months in. He's like a 4-stripe white belt.
That's
But
dangerous.
actually, he's like a 7-stripe white belt.
Yeah, but that's dangerous. He's like, you said he's taller than you and has 40 pounds.
He's
on
got
top?
at least. I honestly, he's probably got like 50 pounds. I mean, he's got to be up there 275, I think.
That's a whole lot of man.
Yeah, you know. Luckily, he's not the typical white belt. Like he knows not to smash. You know,
Yeah,
Hulk
yeah,
smash. He's he can control himself a little bit.
That's
but,
good.
You know, he's just getting his legs under him again. I told him it's like riding a bike. He'll start to.
That's how like Rafael is. Rafael moves really good. The blue belt. He just started coming back maybe like a couple months ago.
Raphael?
He's the blue belt that has like the hair.
Oh, the guy with the hair.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
he's a bigger
Does
guy.
he wear the gi?
He does
when he comes to train.
and his belt's blue.
Yeah.
No, he's
He's got a face.
he has one of those for sure. But he's on the heavier side, but he knows how to move.
Raphael. I don't know. I
Yeah.
gotta see a face.
I gotcha.
I mean, what did he start training during the
Maybe
pandemic?
maybe a couple months ago. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
he
why,
just
'cause I just came back.
but he
2
used to
months
be.
ago.
He's always been fight sports. It's just he's one of those on again, off again guys.
Oh, Raphael, the curly hair.
Come on, bro.
Half Puerto Rican,
Half
Dominican or
Brazilian.
something
No,
like
Brazilian,
that.
Brazilian. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I know Raphael. Oh, boy. I love him.
He can move.
He's
though.
a nightmare.
Yeah, but he can move.
He's a big dude that can move.
Yeah.
Like, he moves like he's like your size.
and he's dormant. Like he'll stay there, and you think it's like, oh, he's tired.
No.
He's not. He's just He's just
Just throw you right off.
yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
And I'll welcome you back to Jiu-Jitsu next week.
Thank you.
We're actually going to film next week again if you're available. Probably going to film again. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure I'm available.
Okay, so we'll try to get you here. I know we've been trying to get you, and Junior's just got a wacky schedule, so it's been difficult to get him out here.
Yeah. Life of a business owner.
Let's not forget about Bo behind the camera. What's up, Bo? Say hi to the human beings.
Hello, humans. hello, biological organisms.
Today we're going to have on BJJ brown belt John Way
Right.
from John Way Martial Arts. So he's going to be joining in just us in just a little bit.
No way.
Oh my gosh, bro.
We'll use the gong.
Yeah.
The gong show.
Hey, where's
I
the
got
buttons? Where'd the buttons go?
I haven't taken them out in a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a while. They're in the box over there.
It's a classic now.
So, on a serious note, I don't know if you guys noticed this this post. This is actually, I want to say that, hopefully, he's becoming a friend. He's actually a client. I met him as a client during my J job in marketing. Professor Vincent Ruelas at a Team Ghost Jiu-Jitsu in Miami. His house burnt down on the 1st.
No, oh, I've been
Did you see
watching
that
him.
post?
Yeah, I was watching him
Yeah.
on Instagram. Yeah, that's horrible.
So I want everybody to, if you can, go into the description wherever you're listening to us. There'll be a GoFundMe link for a GoFundMe to raising money. I think they're about halfway to their goal. Our brother's in trouble. Let's help him out. So if you can, again, just click on the GoFundMe, see if you can, donate. Anything will help. $5, $10, $100.
For sure, it adds up.
So we donated just a little bit for the show already. Okay, so we're thinking about you, Professor, and anything we can do to help, just let us know.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
all right. So let's get a little further into things here. I wanted to. We're going to show you this real quick. We have a new sponsor. Let me get rid of the logo scroll here for a second. We have a new sponsor called Technique. Now, just think of Cameo for jiu-jitsu or for martial arts videos.
Yeah.
You're actually going to submit your video, and then a pro is going to critique. It's going to actually record their critique. And we're going to do one later in the show, so stick around. We'll show you guys what we're talking about. But it's at technique.io on Instagram. Check them out. And again, this is really cool. You can, they just brought on Robert Drysdale, a friend of the show, Rob from McDojo Life. He was a guest on one of our episodes. So lots of other cool names here. I want you guys to check it out. For everybody's, it's like Cameo, so you can set your price. So we have ours at $5. There's our, look at us right there. Hey guys. Hey, that's us. Listen, we're going to do, I talked to Alex, one of the owners over there. When we do it, we're going to be doing a little bit of a funny take.
Yeah.
But you could submit, right now they have jiu-jitsu and some MMA guys, mostly like jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai. Rob is doing stuff like business related. So, he'll critique a video, but he's also looking to provide business advice to gym owners and things like that. So there's lots of cool stuff here. Go check it out. Again, it's technique.io is the website, and that's the handle on Instagram as well. We'll come back to them later in the show. We'll talk a little bit about, or we're actually going to show you an uploaded video, and we're going to show you like the little tools and how to, it records and you submit. So if you're the pro, you record and submit. If you are a pro who wants to be featured on the site and get people to submit videos to you, you could just reach out to them directly. I would suggest going to their Instagram, again, at technique.io, send them a message, and you'll be able to get Alex. Alex will answer the message, and he'll get you set up on the platform. There's no way right now that I know of to just submit to become a pro right here on the homepage. Yeah. So you've got to just reach out to them, send a message, and then he'll get you set up. Okay. So with that being said, Rollin Cafetero.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys for the t-shirts.
Very comfy shirt.
I feel very bad that we haven't talked about them before. COVID, all the craziness. They didn't send me one in my size, so I haven't been able to wear it. So I was waiting for one of you guys to come on. But big shout out. What is yours? Rollin Cafetero?
Yeah, I've been wearing it a couple times now, actually. It's been through the wash a couple times. Holds up pretty well. Pretty comfy shirt.
Awesome guys over there. I appreciate the shirts. If you get me an XL, I'll wear it on the show.
I'm also super Colombian, so it hits close to home.
I like I think I ordered the teddy bear one. There's a little teddy bear and a gi. I thought that was my favorite. You can check them out at Rollin Cafetero on Instagram. They've got some really cool tees. Give them a follow. Last but not least, we want to thank Crown Rash Guards.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about your rash guard?
It's my tightest rash guard.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
Is that a good thing or is it a bad thing?
Yeah. I actually like it tighter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
it's a cool design, too. I like how simple it is.
Yeah. That's kind of the minimalist is kind of their thing right now, at least with this first round. I like it. Like, I have a lot of rash guards, and I've already worn it a lot. So, like, I judge it after I wash it. So, after a few washes, I'm like, okay, does it start to, like, the material start to come out, and the color starts to go, and so far, it's held up
It also
really nice.
doesn't, when you stretch it, you can see through.
Yeah.
This one doesn't do it.
Okay.
It's got, like, that liner
Cool.
behind it, I think,
So, love it. And to come full circle, we also, how about the stinky bag? I know you put out some videos. You like the stinky bag?
I think it's amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, I use it for more than just jiu-jitsu. Like, if I, sometimes, like, in my line of work, I have to go to, like, water treatment plants and wastewater treatment plants. Yeah. Like, where your poop goes. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes stuff doesn't smell good after you leave there. So I just throw it in that joker and throw it in my car, and then put on my work polo afterwards.
What I like to do with it is my wife does some kickboxing.
Right.
So the wraps, the Velcro on the wraps.
Oh, those get really stinky.
But it's that if you put them in the regular wash with other stuff, like your rash guard,
it'll stick.
It gets stuck. The plastic on the Velcro pulls the material.
My wife does kickboxing too.
Oh yeah? Oh,
yeah.
Cool. Excuse me. Burping from the beer. Yeah. So I put anything Velcro in the bag. I actually, at the end of a session, I'll put my gi top in there, my belt, anything I wore, sometimes my knee pads. I'll put that all in the bag. I do take the gi top, the rash guard out, and the gi top out. I leave everything else in there, and I make sure anything, even my no gi shorts, because of the Velcro, I put anything with Velcro in there, and then I wash it like that.
Yeah.
Pull it out, wash it like that. So love it. Thank you guys over at Stinky, at STNKY. Is it .us or something? What is it?
I don't know.
Stinky
I mean, you're spelling stinky wrong, so it's going to come up.
STNKY, yeah. Just
it'll come
STNKY. So love them. It's been really cool. I said last but not least, but let's not forget about Flow and Roll. At flow_n_roll on Instagram. Get 20% off your online order with code JJD at flowandroll.com. Can't miss them.
I'm going to get the one with the bomb on it. That bomb shirt.
I wasn't going to say anything. We've got some teas on the way.
Oh.
So I don't know what he's going to put together. I know those are the newer shirts. I hope he sends us some of the new ones. I mentioned to him, hey, we could definitely use some new gear.
The one with the bomb on it. Aquí, large.
All right, let's do so we got some new patrons. Shout out to our podcast patrons. If you go to patreon.com/Jiu-Jitsu Dummies, you can support the show. We've got 2 new gym sponsors. So Carlson Gracie, Broward County in North Lauderdale, Florida. You can check them out at carlsongraciebrowardcounty.com. Actually, the owner, he's a BJJ brown belt, Jean Blanchard Monjoyce, I believe is how you say his name. I know him better as Big J. Junior's been over there to train with them a lot.
Right.
It's Junior, met Roberto, one of our other podcast patrons. Roberto set us up with it's
a
Big
small
J.
world, I think.
It's a small jiu-jitsu world.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, hey, you know this guy? I'm more of a faces guy. Like, I'm bad with names, but yeah, it's like 6 degrees of separation, but it's like 2.
I was about to say that. I was like, it's like 7 degrees to Kevin Bacon, but it's like 4 degrees to any black belt.
Yeah. So you could check them out again. Well, so Big J was supposed to fight in the Fight to Win next week.
Yeah.
161, right? His opponent just got injured. So if there's anybody out there that hears this next week and you're looking to
what's the weight?
He's big.
Big?
I don't know. He's a heavyweight. He's definitely heavyweight.
large.
I think he might even be a super heavy.
Brown?
Belt is brown and size is big. Large.
All right, I'll recruit. I'm going to the zoo tomorrow with my children, so I'll just grab a bear. They're brown and big.
Well, shout out to Big J. Good luck next week if you find an opponent. Our professor, Felipe,
tonight
is fighting tonight.
So
that's
is his
160.
son.
It's Fight to Win 160. Kai's on the card
Kai's
as well.
on the card as well. There's a couple Fight Sports guys.
So it's Kai, from our gym, it's Kai, our professor, Felipe Amarante.
That's it.
Next week, it's Flo.
It's an all-females event, I believe.
So if Big J's on the one next week,
I think the 22nd.
the 22nd is the one that Big J's on.
Yeah. Then the one, I think there might be one
After that?
either between or after that. There's
Okay.
an all-females event.
There's 3 Miami cards coming up. Okay.
Yeah. The next one that's coming up, also Tom's son, Pedro.
Yeah.
Pedro's going to get on there.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Dude, I'm excited to watch him fight because, I've rolled with him a couple times, and obviously I got several pounds on him. But, he's just so wiry, man. He's so fast, and he's so sound. And I hope his dad is in his corner because the worst thing that could ever happen to you at our gym is you roll with him, and obviously you can't go ham because I weigh more than him. And then his dad is coaching him, and he listens, man. And it's horrifying.
You know who I want? And hats off to him. Hats off to Pedro. You know who I really want to see compete on a higher level, which really surprised me at the last the Grappling Federation in Miami.
Yeah.
What was that one? What is it?
AGF.
AGF. Alex.
Oh, little Alex.
Well, not so little anymore.
Yeah, I know. He's getting big.
I've rolled with Alex, and he's definitely when he's rolled with me in the past. We're talking before the pandemic.
Yeah.
It was a lot of spaghetti, well, you're going to beat me anyway, so I'm just going to okay, you do what you want with me. I saw him fight at that tournament.
I was an MMA fighter.
There was nobody in his
age
or weight, so his mom moved him up
adults
at
a heavier weight class.
At a heavier weight.
Yeah.
The first guy that he goes to fight comes out in UFC shorts.
He's a UFC fighter
with a beard.
Yeah, a man.
And he submitted him.
It was a scrap though, but yeah, he got him.
And I was just like,
because he was caught in the guillotine for a while.
who is this kid? Mm-hmm. This isn't the kid that I've rolled with before. I mean, a year definitely makes a difference during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. But he's always so I rolled with him again, and I told him, I said, listen, I don't want to roll with old Alex. I want to roll with Alex that I saw at the tournament. I want that kid. Mm-hmm. And then he went a lot harder.
He gave.
You know, I think we've all done that. We go to fight somebody that's like, oh, this guy's just going to handle me, or you know, because of the weight, you know, they're a lot bigger.
So you asked them to give you 100%.
Yeah, you did that too. Bo, do you remember that story? When I first rolled with, so I was getting to know Miguel. He tells me we rolled, and I guess we roll right after that again.
Yeah, it was like two. In a row,
it was like back to back. I don't know if nobody
keep
was
ignoring
there.
you.
She's like, "Hey, you mind if I roll 100%?"
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
"Yes, I did."
This mother.
But you know how I meant it.
But I didn't know you that well. So when he said, but again, you know, the computer, the mind just starts going, and I said to myself, "What was he doing?" And
Who is this guy?
Yeah, like who? What
do you think you are?
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't mean it disrespectfully.
No. I don't take it disrespectfully. Yeah. But my mind automatically was just like, so you like,
okay.
You taking it easy on me, kind of like you've only been giving me 50%.
Yeah.
And then we rolled again, but you were better at because then it was too wild.
All muscle.
It was
I don't goon out of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I just give up.
Yeah, so that's kind of when we started to really become like friends, like seeing there.
Yeah,
I guess we hadn't rolled a lot up until that point. I think I was out. I wasn't out because of my knee. I think I was just out. I wasn't there a lot.
It was COVID.
You kind of started, and then I kind of came back into the fold a little bit. So so let's go over. I'm sorry, we got a little sidetracked there. So our podcast Patreon. So again, Carlson Gracie, Broward County. Welcome to our Patreon. John Way Martial Arts. John Way is a guest, but they're also now a podcast patron. They're in Plantation, Florida.
Nice.
JohnWayMartialArts.com is where you can find them. We'll definitely talk a little bit more about each of those gyms in the coming episodes. We'll give you some little nuggets on kind of background, where they came from. So also, thank you to Robert Walker, Frank House, Wolsey Rivera, Boa Athletics. You can check them out on IG at Boa Athletics. Boa_Athletics. Michael Pixley Jr., Jason Smiley, Britt Tavar, James Fisher, CJ Carroll, Mission 22, Chuck Reddoor, and Roberto Santiago. And again, thank you, Roberto, for hooking us up with both of your gyms. And thank you for setting us up with John today. He was actually an integral part of getting John on the show.
Thank you very much.
So again, if you'd like to support, just visit patreon.com/Jiu-Jitsu Dummies. You can go to our Instagram at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies. Click on the link in our bio. That's our link tree. It has everything you could possibly do with us. It's all there. Remember, if you join, you're automatically entered to win or automatically entered into a raffle for $100 in Jiu-Jitsu swag every single month. Listeners who submit questions we use on the show are automatically entered into those drawings as well. And if we use your question on the show, if you want to submit questions through our Instagram or through our Facebook, you're automatically not only entered into that, but if we use your question on the show, you're probably going to get a bottle of CBD, a 5-pack CBD, or a $25 gift card to the podcast store. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share wherever you're watching or listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to click the little bell so you get the notifications every time we launch a video. Support the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies Foundation on Amazon Smile. Check out our Instagram, again, at Jiu-Jitsu Dummies for instructions and all the links to all the different ways you can set up or work with us. Okay? All right. Had to get through that real quick. We've got John waiting. Let's get John in here.
Let's get him in.
Let's do it. All right, everybody. Joining us right now, John Way from John Way Martial Arts.
Hey.
Appreciate you waiting around for us, John. Thank you so much. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. It's all right. No problems. It's Saturday. What else we're going to do?
Yeah, right?
Train.
Well, Miguel is going to kids' parties and skipping training, so he did find something else to do, but at least he joined us today.
I almost started fighting some kids just to get my fix in.
You choking out little kids at a kids' party?
Hey, man, listen, a submission's a submission.
Yeah, right? Listen, got to do what you got to do. Get it in whenever you can. So let's I usually like to get a little general background. So we said you're a jiu-jitsu brown belt, but you were also a Sifu. I don't know exactly how I'm supposed to say that. You're a Sifu in Kung Fu. Oh. Tell me a little bit about, let's start with the Kung Fu side of things, because I believe you started Kung Fu when you were first. Tell us a little bit about how you got your journey, how you started your journey in martial arts.
Well, just like everybody else, back then I was a big Bruce Lee fan. Okay. Being Chinese and from Hong Kong, it was pretty natural for me to learn Kung Fu. So that was my first passion. My first style was Wing Chun. It's what Bruce Lee trained in. I love the fighting aspect of it. I love the theory of it. And that's how I got started. Throughout the process, I learned another Kung Fu style called Choy foot. So I got into that and, started training Kung Fu and teaching Kung Fu. And that's how I got my start. Okay. So when we first opened a school back in the late 90s, it was just a Kung Fu school. And, we did fight. We fought Sanshao, which is kickboxing with takedowns. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of Sanshao tournaments out there. So we had to go and fight at Muay Thai tournaments. So that's how I got my start with martial arts, just dating all the way back and developing the Kung Fu and wanting to always learn more.
Yeah. That's awesome. So that brings you to, your gym's been open, what, about 20 plus years, 22 years?
Yeah, 20 something years now. Wow. Yes.
Are you in the same location where you started, or have you moved around a little bit?
No, I'm in the same city. I moved one time. They told us we sold the plaza. We're kicking everybody out. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But we've been in Plantation for 23 years now.
Okay. And now, so that brings you, let's, fast forward. How did you get your start in jiu-jitsu? Was it something that you wanted to do? Was it something as a gym owner like, okay, UFC comes about, I've got to offer this? Or was it more a passion? Tell us how you got there.
Well, I was a big fan of UFC when it first started. I was infatuated with it. I love Royce Gracie. And then one day at my school, I got a letter with a challenge, the $100 challenge, That's right. And I'm reading this. I'm like, man, I go, is this fake or is this real? And I'm reading it and it says, listen, well, anybody who wants to come, fight us, we're putting up $100,000.
What?
Of course, yeah.
That's not
$100,000?
$100,000.
So
yes.
now, so the challenge is from
it was probably late 90s.
No, but the challenge. So the challenge is from. Was this the Sifu? Is this Kung
Fu?
From
Gracie's.
This is from Gracie.
The Gracie challenge.
Oh, okay.
I got you.
Yes, they remember. Okay. You remember.
I remember this.
Yes, so they sent it, I think, to everybody.
Oh, okay.
So that caught my attention. I was like, man, and then, I love the fighting. Anything that has to do with fighting, I love it. If you can teach me how to kick better, I'm going to learn it. I don't care what style it is. And, I wanted to learn the ground game. So I used to model back then. I was one of the few Asian models here in America. Yes.
Nice.
So I know, man, right? They need an Asian guy. That was me.
Nice.
So funny thing is, on one shoot, I got booked for a campaign to fly out to LA for one of the cruise lines. It's a whole week of shooting, I think for Carnival or Royal Caribbean. Somehow I saw a fly from the Gracies saying they're going to be on this cruise with their high level, belts, and they're going to do a seminar all week. I'm like, holy crap. So I called up Torrance Academy. I said, listen, I'm going to be on a cruise. I'm shooting a commercial with Kathy Lee. I go, can I come jump in? I go, I know you guys. I said, I'm a beginner. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. Bring your gi, He goes, hey, by the way, we have a rape prevention CD. Could you introduce us to Kathy Lee? I was like, sure. Once we get on set, I'll pass your stuff on to him. You guys can introduce each other. So on the cruise, so every day, once we got done shooting, I'd go get my gi. I go to the top floor and, you had Hoyce and Horian. They're out there teaching. I mean,
wow.
I was freaking starstruck.
Yeah.
Like UFC, I'm seeing these guys fight. And now I get to train with them. Like there's like maybe 20 or 30 people. And the thing is they had, we're out in the middle of the Pacific and it's freaking hot. And they got black mats there.
Nice.
Okay. Like freaking steaming. You know what? They had to sit there and spray a hose on us the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, so it was really cool experience, for like 6 days. And, once I was done with shooting, I went up there, we trained. And what I remember was all we worked was arm bars and triangle all week. It wasn't anything fancy. It was straight, cut to the point, and it was every day trying to master those two techniques. And so that's basically how I kind of touched upon jiu-jitsu. And it was a really good experience. And I decided at that point, I got to find a couple instructors here so I can arm myself with some ground skills.
So did you ever train at another school, or did you bring in coaches and trainers and you've always trained at your own school?
Yeah, at first, I always trained here, and one of my friends, Baga, he came and taught at my school, and he was with the American top team, and that's how I got started. I dedicated more time, and he actually opened a location, the first location in Cooper City inside a gym. And probably one of the best decisions I ever made was put on a white belt and go train. I get to become a student again. And, for someone who's trained martial arts their whole life, and to be able to put on a white belt and to be among students to learn, it's a big thing. It's something that I think was a turning point in my martial arts career. Once I did that, nobody knew me. We trained. And so from there, him and me and Bog, we did actually opened up ATT Davie and ATT Weston together.
Wow.
And for me, it was about learning to better my jiu-jitsu. And it gave me an opportunity to see how ATT trained all their fighters.
Okay.
I was a striking coach, so I got to train with the fighters and coach them. And also I got to see all the different coaches that came in, and it was such a incredible experience. But that's when I started training jiu-jitsu full time. And ever since then, I just try to get on the mat as much as I could.
Nice. Very cool.
That's awesome.
Let's go back. You mentioned you saw the bio that Roberto sent.
Yeah.
And you had a question about the
Wing Chun?
Yeah, you said there was a rivalry.
Oh, no, the rivalry.
What was it about? Kind of talked a little bit about how you opened your school.
Right. Well, you're talking about when I first, yeah. So, my Sifu came from Hong Kong. He came here for a couple of years, and he didn't speak much English, so I helped him open the school, and obviously I ran the operation. When he passed away, his family members took over.
Oh, no.
And we didn't really get along, and my thing was I was always a student. I didn't really care to open a martial arts school. I was in business and marketing. I was running a record label at the time. And, they kind of insulted me a little bit, and so I decided, I was like, okay, I'm going to open a school. I wanted my own place to train. I want to teach my own students. And pretty much that's how I got my start. And we opened a small school in Plantation. And then from there, 23 years later, I'm still freaking here.
Nice.
Operating, teaching. And, we don't, obviously we expand into other disciplines, because of my interest. But, it's been one of the best decisions of my life to open a martial arts school and get to learn from everybody.
I think in my mind and Miguel's mind, we saw two Kung Fu Sifus out in the parking lot ready to square off.
Secret kumite. That's what I was thinking.
I'll meet you in the back by the dumpsters. That's what we pictured.
When I was reading that part of the bio, I read that part like 5 times. I was like, wait a minute.
That's right. Hey, listen, I was ready. I didn't care, But, here we're in America, things are a little more cordial and, but in the old days in Hong Kong, yes, that's how they work.
Yeah.
Out, the mentality, the Chinese mentality, it's a lot of pride and a lot of respect.
Yeah.
Right.
And when you disrespect somebody, it's a big thing for somebody to lose face.
Mm-hmm.
And so in many cultures are like that. Even in the Brazilian culture is very similar. You got to extend respect. If you don't, then stuff happens.
That's the Gracie challenge too. People used to, that's essentially why the UFC got started, is because of all the Gracie challenges. These people would come to Brazil and they would challenge the Gracies all the time. And then
they carried it over into California too.
Well, yeah, correct. And then they started making that deal for the original UFC, and that's how it got started.
Yeah,
yeah. It was just them proving that jiu-jitsu was the ultimate martial.
So we have someone of multiple disciplines.
Okay.
I say, okay, you're the guy with multiple disciplines,
right?
I am always curious. Well, let me take a step back. Let me say that I think that jiu-jitsu guys, for lack of a better term, we're bougie. We're stuck up with jiu-jitsu. We're like, jiu-jitsu's the best. Jiu-jitsu's the best. I've had coaches, you don't need anything else. You don't need to do strike. Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
What is your take on that whole thing? How do you feel about that as somebody who not only has a school that trains multiple, you train multiple disciplines, you have a school. What are your thoughts when other coaches talk like that?
Well, my thought is it depends what arena you're talking about. Okay. So we're talking about street defense. Okay. So if I'm on the street or I'm, in a parking lot and somebody starts something with me, do I really want to jiu-jitsu that guy?
No.
I don't even want to touch him, So I'm going to strike, hit him real hard and just get out of there, versus, fighters who go fight MMA. Can you just bring jiu-jitsu into MMA? Listen, you know what? It can happen. It has happened. But, in 2021, there's so many great fighters and great coaches, and they go in there. They're no longer a jiu-jitsu guy fighting MMA. They're MMA guys who cross-train. And especially down here in South Florida, I mean, we're in the mecca of jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, MMA.
All of it.
The amateurs look like pros, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Right? So you can't, so you can't just go in a cage and say, okay, you know what, jiu-jitsu is going to win. And I love jiu-jitsu. Every time jiu-jitsu wins in MMA, I'm like, yes, jiu-jitsu wins again.
Yeah, Mackenzie Dern's doing a good job of it lately.
Yeah.
She's looking real good.
Yeah, she's a great representative for that transition.
Good at striking, too.
So, yeah, I know, again, so many, I've just experienced it, and I guess, again, it's we're a little stuck up. Hey, it comes from the coaches. I can't say that I'm stuck up because I did a little Muay Thai, not a lot, just a little Muay Thai. I love doing, we had MMA classes. I tell people, in my mind, if I could fast forward, let's just say 10 years, in my mind, the martial art is MMA. Does that make sense? MMA is kind of the new martial art.
It is.
The mix is the mix of all of the stand-up, the wrestling, the ground game, the jiu-jitsu. That in itself is the martial art that you need for the ring, for the cage. Does that make sense?
Dude, that's what Bruce Lee was. That's what Bruce Lee was preaching. Yeah, that's what he did.
So, and I kind of see, a lot of times people ask me. I get a lot of, at work, a lot of moms and dads. Oh, yeah. Oh, you do jiu-jitsu? Oh, where should I put them? I found this karate school. And I'm like, yeah, I don't do karate. They're like, no, I don't do karate. It's jiu-jitsu. It's different. I usually tell them, there's a couple of things I tell them. Find somebody that has a really good kids program. If they're a preteen, find a school with a really good, bully-proof program, kind of like the Gracie program. Find someone who's really teaching kids not only how to protect themselves, but to find their voice and how to, get out of a situation before they start touching someone or before they feel like they have to defend.
Right.
So that's usually my advice. The other side of that is I do tell them, for a kid, find somebody that's also going to teach them striking. Love jiu-jitsu, but I do think that they
for sure.
Need that mix.
Well, the defense of the striking, because in striking you learn how to not get struck as well.
Yeah.
So you got to learn how to slip. See how people's hips are being set, so on and so forth. Just to add to that, it's just like everything. It's a tool, right? And you use the right tool for the right application. You're not going to use a hammer to serve soup. Right? So it's like there's a difference why 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, beyond all the controversy, was only solely invented for MMA.
Yeah.
Right? Because guess what? You're in a real street fight, you're not going to truck somebody, okay? Because then your head's going to get split open on the concrete. Yeah. In an MMA fight, you're not going to berimbolo somebody because A, you're not wearing stuff you could grab onto, and B, you're not looking to score 4 points by getting somebody's back like you would be an IBJJF, right? And same thing, like in Muay Thai, you're not looking to Kimura somebody's arm.
So let's say he just mentioned competing, or he just mentioned the berimbolo. So on the competition side, do you guys do a lot of tournaments? Are you training your students to do competitions? Is it more self-defense for you guys?
No, we pretty much do everything. We compete at Kung Fu tournaments, we compete at Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, Muay Thai tournaments, and of course, we do MMA fights.
And you have the dance
too. That's the new generation of martial artists. We try hard to keep the traditional side in here, and there's still people that love training traditional martial arts. But even for myself and my instructors, our minds has changed. We open up this world of jiu-jitsu, MMA, Muay Thai, and we just love it all. So we learn to adapt that into our style. We're all just kung fu guys that learn good jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. You have a couple of daughters. You have children.
Yeah, I have 2 daughters.
You have 2 daughters. Wow. Do they train?
Yes, they train. And the funny that you guys were talking about kids. When my friends, if they don't live around here, they live out of state, and they ask me, hey, listen, I want to get my kids into martial arts. I tell them, I said, go look for a jiu-jitsu school. Because for self-defense and for kids in general, it's really, really good because they don't have to, if they get a confrontation at school, they can take the kid down, hold them inside control and say, hey, listen, get off of me, don't ever bully me again. And for my daughters, yes, for the last, several years, I've been trying to arm them with better and better jiu-jitsu. So therefore, if they get ever taken to the ground or just in that situation, they know how to handle themselves.
It's an insurance policy for me. That's why my kids are in jiu-jitsu.
I can't get my daughter on the mat. I have two daughters. I have my 27-year-old daughter, and then I have a 16-year-old stepdaughter. She doesn't want to have anything to do with it. My wife does some kickboxing. My daughter, she doesn't want to have anything to do with it. She's 16, going to be in college in a few years, and I'm telling her, like, I'd really like you to understand how to defend yourself. It's, a crazy world out there, but haven't been able to pique her interest. When she was little, we used to roll around a little bit, play around when she was, like 9, 10, but she has no interest. But, definitely, an advocate for everyone learning jiu-jitsu. My wife doesn't want to have anything to do with jiu-jitsu either.
Same.
You have a huge female presence in your school too. I think, do you have a larger percentage of women in your school than you do men? Is it like 60-40?
We actually have probably 50-50 or 60-60. I mean, COVID changed things a little bit.
120%.
120%. but why I realize it is that with the females, we took a different approach. We were always good with the cardio kickboxing, so we knew how to market to females. But interestingly, throughout the last couple of years, once they came in and started training kickboxing, they saw us train jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai, they started asking about it. Mm-hmm. And once they realized that they were accepted in that class and they trained, we trained them in a way that they didn't feel threatened and that everything's professional, more and more female got involved, Mm-hmm. And, with jiu-jitsu, once you get in, once you learn a couple of things, you get off that learning curve. That's it. That's right.
It's the more that jiu-jitsu, baby.
I got my buddy Brandon that I work with. I got him into jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And he's a big weightlifter. Like, he loves lifting weights. And he's like, man, I'm losing all this weight because he's training jiu-jitsu. And then he's just like, but it's so fun.
Yeah.
He's like, he even quit jiu-jitsu to go back to the gym because he was losing muscle mass. And he's like, I can't do it. I got to go back to jiu-jitsu. Lifting weights is boring.
Yeah. I tell everybody, jiu-jitsu there's no middle ground with jiu-jitsu. You love it or you hate it. Mm-hmm. You can't really train for a week and then go hit the bag for a week and then go do some weights. It's just not like that. You'll drown. Right? I mean, right. We're one of the martial arts, and you could tell me if things are a little bit different in your school as far as the striking. But I mean, we're rolling, we're sparring, rolling, whatever you want to call it. We're fighting every single class.
One of the very few where you could spar 100%.
Yeah, you're gonna be sparring essentially every class. So it's again, there's no middle ground. You can't any of the guys I said, like Kyle came back to the class today. He's awesome. But when you're in and out, it's so hard to get started again. Yeah. But there's no let me take one jiu-jitsu class today and then I'm going to do some weightlifting. You get addicted.
Yeah.
We just happen to be a couple of guys that fell in love with it, and it's consumed us. I've got a t-shirt website. I've got the podcast. I think I share something in common with you. I'm a marketer by day. I have a marketing gig by day. So that has led to the success of the show, is just kind of knowing how to market it, where to put it, what to do, what to put out, just using some of those same skills I use for my clients and just doing it for myself. But again, I drank the punch. For me, it was day one. I loved jiu-jitsu before I trained jiu-jitsu. I was so into the UFC.
Really?
I was so into the UFC. I wanted to do it so bad. I wrestled a little bit in junior high, but I would as soon as I put the gi on and I rolled with my coach for the first time. As a matter of fact, I rolled with a female white belt. Like, we were just doing basics because he just opened his school. It was a family friend. And even that moment, just stepping on the mat, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. He said, so, tell me, you have a background in martial arts? I said, well, I did a little bit of American Taekwondo when I was younger. I did Shorin-ryu karate again, a little bit. I sprained a thumb in gymnastics, so I couldn't go back to karate. And then I said, but I watch a lot of UFC, so I kind of know, the moves. And he just smiled at me, and I didn't get the smile till after class. He smiled at me and was like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, you watch the UFC, so you know jiu-jitsu, buddy." And then again, from that moment on, though, I fell in love with it, and it was 2 hours a day, 5-6 days a week.
Yeah,
open mats at other gyms. It just never stopped for me.
I laughed when you said I sprained a thumb and I couldn't go back to whatever school you mentioned because like jiu-jitsu is so addicting that if you like break your finger, you would literally ask somebody tape it and then get right back on.
Well, we're talking about I was like 9, so I was a little kid, but I found jiu-jitsu. We talked about our age. You said you're 55, right, John?
Yeah.
Speed limit.
What'd you say?
Speed limit.
Yep.
I'm 47, and I found jiu-jitsu right before my 41st birthday. I shouldn't say found it. I finally got the balls to go in and do it. I had every excuse like everybody else. Well, let me lose some weight first. I got to work on my flexibility. I've heard all those excuses from other people.
My favorite's the cardio one.
Yeah, let me get my cardio
bro,
up.
you could be an Olympic marathon runner. And you have the wrong guy on top of you in side control, you could have all the cardio you want. And it's grappling cardio and cardio. I mean, I used to run ultra marathons.
Yeah.
Like running 100K and rolling for 6 minutes with, let's say, Adolfo on top of you. I'd rather run 100K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I found it late in life, but I think I'm kind of happy about that because I think I would have quit. I think at a younger age, I didn't have the discipline and I didn't need it in my life like I need it now. I need that as an adult with a family, the stress relief, just understanding the world, the world we live in today. I know that I not only need it to protect myself, protect my family, but I need the stress. For me, it's mostly stress relief.
The camaraderie too,
Yeah.
The family.
Listen,
it's another family.
It's great. The jiu-jitsu community, everybody is so nice. I mean, you guys, I'm sure you've done it. Like when I travel around, I bring my gi with me, and you just call them up, and normally they say, come train, come roll. And it's not like you're going to go in there and they're just going to smash you. Most of them are very, very cool, and I love the jiu-jitsu community. It's always so accepting. You
actually met one of our co-hosts. Junior hasn't been with us for a little bit because of he came out and he did some classes. He's our like our roaming ambassador. He's the mayor.
Oh yeah.
He's always going which is awesome. He's a black belt now, so he goes out, he meets people. We wind up inviting him on the show, but like he's that guy because he's got a little bit more flexibility. He works for himself. He's in the security industry, but he has his own company
medical,
as well.
Yeah, Zodicon.
Yeah, Zodicon. It's up on the screen on one of the monitors in the studio. But he's got a little bit more flexibility to go out and like train where I'm 9 to 5. I got to get to class. I can only get to 7:30, so I don't really do that. I haven't done a lot of it other than open mats. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we're in this amazing sport where you're welcome anywhere. You could be maybe almost getting into a fight with another guy, and then you find out you both do jiu-jitsu. It's like, oh shit, wait a minute, hey, you're like your brothers. So you have this I was telling somebody the other day, in our gym, got lawyers, accountants, police officers, chefs,
marketing guys,
project
managers.
We would have never met each other in any other world. We would have just never met each other. Yes. Under any other circumstances, or maybe we would have met, but we wouldn't have been friends. But that, the world of jiu-jitsu, and that's the same probably for any martial arts. Maybe not cross martial arts. Maybe for you it's a little different. When you meet a karate guy, you're like, whatever.
And you know what I really like? It's like if you do anything else, like socially like that, it always turns into like this weird like dick measuring contest with like money and like possessions. And
what do you mean? I don't get
it. Sometimes when you interact with people in different lines of work, it turns into like this thing where like, well, I have these material things and I have this material things. Dude, jiu-jitsu is like you could be rolling levels. It's level. You could be rolling with literally a millionaire, and if you choke him out, he's like, oh, and if he chokes you out, you're like, wow, that was nice. What was that? It's like there's not that. It's different, not. It's very ego is very removed.
Yeah.
It gets removed.
That's a great thing about jiu-jitsu is, you see this guys come in, maybe they lift weights or did some karate or something, and they roll on the mat, and there could be 200 pounds, and you see a 130-pound kid just submit him,
light him up, the enforcer.
And just sitting on the side going, holy crap, like what just happened, And I think that in itself, especially for men, as we get older, being 55. I still want to be active. And I think jiu-jitsu gives that to a lot of men as they age. We still want to be able to, go a little rough, but not get hurt, like,
right.
For example, I taught striking class today and I'm watching them sparring. They're kicking each other. I'm like, shit, man, listen, I don't want to get hit. It's like you get hit, my bones sore. I mean, jiu-jitsu, you can get hurt, but it's a different soreness. You go in, you train, my shoulders may be a little sore, but it's a great workout. And like you were saying, the cardio is such a different cardio.
Yeah.
And you go in there, you train it, and just feels good. And when you come out of there, with all the stress and running a business or working, when you're on the mat, you don't sit there and think, oh shit, I got to send out this email later. You're thinking, as soon as I get out of this choke, that's this guy off, man, Like as soon as I get out, I may not get out, but I'm going to mess him up.
If I get out.
I get out,
exactly. You do get out. You just tap.
Let's go back to, over. If we can, let's go back to your affiliation or American Top Team. Tell us a little bit about the history there. I understand, I'll let you explain.
Hey,
you were involved with
starting two schools.
Two schools, but
yep.
Were you like an investor or something in the main location? Tell us about that.
No. I was partners in the Davian Weston location.
Okay.
And then, after running it for several years, I decided to just go back to my own location. I have kids and family, and it just took up too much time.
Yeah.
And when I came back here, I changed. I basically rebranded my whole location because of what I've learned and what I've seen with American Top Team. So it had a major effect on me. I rebranded my school, and all the connections I made with ATT, with training partners and the coaches, I still have that relationship, and several of them come teach at my location. It really did have a major impact on not just my professional career, but my personal martial arts career and how it changed my mentality. And, for me to, get better in jiu-jitsu, then listen, ATT was my source for jiu-jitsu when I got into it. So
I saw Rashad Evans and Dominic Cruz on one of your posts. They came in to film it. Were they just doing some promo stuff at the for the UFC?
The UFC called us and said, listen, we got a couple of guys, want to come there, film on location. And I was like, okay, I didn't know. I was like, whatever, bring them in. And then I found out it was those two guys. I was like, oh man, really cool.
Just some guys.
Yeah, so they came in, we had class going on, the class was starstruck, and Dominic and Rashad's really cool. One thing funny about it, they were in here, right? They're getting ready to do their little technique on the mat. And Rashad goes, listen, you got any lotion? I was like, what? He goes, lotion for my feet. I was like, okay. So one of my fighters ran, got lotion, came over and gave. So that's his claim to fame, is giving lotion to Rashad Evans.
Yeah. He put lotion on the
He's
bottom.
He's the lotion guy, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm like walking around my mask going, listen, man, my mask, with lotion's a little slippery. But, that's his thing. But that was a really cool experience. And we captured that and put it up. So it was really cool to have those guys around.
Are you a UFC fan? Are you, somebody who, is catching every pay-per-view or?
No, I watch. I can't say I'm like,
super fan.
It's back tonight.
But, it's back tonight. But listen, I love the good fights. Come on, man. When the fighters come on, I like it when the old guys get on there. I just hope nobody gets hurt. But I'm still a big.
Did you see that Dana and Khabib went into a room to possibly discuss? And then did you hear what Conor said?
No.
So so Conor was being interviewed, and essentially he wasn't even alluding. He just right out said that Khabib retired because he's scared of fighting me.
Oh,
I was like, yeah.
What else is he going to say?
He's such a good marketer, man. He's so good. That guy's high level.
Yeah, I did a podcast. I was a guest on a podcast the other day, and we were talking about Khabib, and I said, he promised his mom that he wasn't going to fight anymore.
I don't know, man. I broke a lot of promises to my mom.
Yeah, but you know what? he's because of his faith, and it's just a little bit different. I think, he just lost his dad. You promise your mom you're not going to fight anymore.
Yeah.
You're like, so he's very much a man of his word.
You could chalk it up to emotion.
Yeah, I think it comes back, but that's the
heat of the moment.
That's the hump that he's got to get over is
man.
Making a promise to your mother. No? You don't think
so?
No,
man. How many times have you promised your mom something and done something else? Come on, bro.
No, Mom, I'm never going to do this thing that I do for a career. That's
sure, honey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
Sure, you're
I broke
not,
some
honey.
promises.
Listen, my mom hated the fact that I did martial arts.
Yeah.
She hated that fact I was opening a martial arts school. So now she's like, oh, okay, that was cool.
Yeah.
So he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight again.
Well, we're going to dinner tonight.
Did you guys see this? The new information. I don't know how much you guys compete in any of the IBJJF events, but this whole kind of reaping thing now.
Oh yeah,
the
2021. Yeah.
Are you familiar? Are you familiar, John?
Heel hooks.
Yeah, vaguely. I read some headlines about it.
What do you think about this whole I guess really at brown and black is really what's changing, where you can now reap the knee.
I'm excited to see Gordon Ryan in a gi.
That's right. I like to see him in a gi too.
That
Is that one of the reasons why he doesn't
No, he's just not primarily a gi guy. He does. He's an IBJJF world champ.
He'll float over to the gi because of that.
He's talked about it in years past to start focusing on it, and obviously I don't. I do follow him on social media, but I don't ever see him rolling with a gi. But
never.
If you got on it,
I actually saw a picture of him the other day. But
it's
it
too
looked
hot
like
in Puerto Rico.
He was in a gi. And he looked so unhappy. It was like somebody turned it into a meme. He was just so the look on his face. It was just whatever it was. They caught him in a moment where he was just not happy. And there he is in his black gi, hunched over, and
a dog with a cone.
This ain't me.
Yeah. It's too hot in Puerto Rico to wear a gi.
Yeah. I don't know. This world is crazy. Let's talk a little bit about COVID. What did you guys do differently during COVID, John? You obviously didn't close down, and you guys are still around.
Saw the mask.
Unfortunately, right? There's a lot of schools that didn't make it in other parts of the country.
Yeah, all martial arts schools got hit, and for us, we went. When they shut us down, we went totally virtual. Then when we opened up, we had to keep our virtual classes and put in all our in-person classes. So nowadays we teach 70-something classes.
Wow!
And so we double our work. Throughout COVID, I was still lucky enough. Me and some of the fighters were still training.
Yeah,
they were still fighting. So. They were kind of like backyard fights. Not really, but there's no fans,
Yeah.
Like our first fight that we went to, during COVID, we were in Miami, heading to the goat shed, and we're walking in the back alley, and I start laughing. I'm like, man, we're like going backwards,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was tough for a lot of jiu-jitsu schools as well. But people are slowly coming back, and definitely change things. You have to you kind of rethink everything. And what's important and what to teach, but we still have a lot of people that's interested in training jiu-jitsu and rolling. We haven't put back the gi classes yet, even though I still train, and that's coming up next. We put back no gi, so gi's coming back. I'm a gi guy. I love gi.
Any particular reason why you left the gi for last, or just coincidence?
No, it's just it was just one thing, a little bit at a time, rather than come in and go, hey, listen, here's all the jiu-jitsu class back. We take small steps and get people used to it and accustomed to it.
So I'm curious. I forgot about this question before. So did you just open a marketing company, or you? We have a digital marketing company, and we help small businesses.
Nice.
We've done so well with social media for our own business that we want to go out there and help others. You're in marketing, and so many times you hear about these small businesses hiring marketers, and they're not really getting what they want. They get generic websites, and they don't know how to do the leads. So we try to help them out, and we're not just the clients. We're clients as well.
Yeah.
So.
Are you mostly marketing to gyms and martial arts studios, or are you working with anyone?
We do it. Yeah, any small business. We target small businesses.
Nice.
All right, cool. Yeah, we're in the same world. I'm gotta watch out for you guys now. I'm gonna be like, hey, I know those guys over there.
What I just thought about?
All right, listen, we got some. Let's get into our listener questions. So we're gonna start out with, excuse me, Pauline Goldstein. Is she a student? Pauline?
Yeah, Pauline's a student.
Pauline is a student. It says. Hi, Milton. I have a question for John Way. Perfect. Good. From what you know now, would you change anything in your martial arts journey?
I would have started jiu-jitsu earlier.
Yes.
Like a lot earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't start until I was probably late 30s. My prime was 40, but I would have definitely started a lot earlier. But back then, I grew up in South Florida. It wasn't that easy to find a BJJ school back then. Now they're everywhere. But that's definitely one thing I would have got in very early in my career.
It's pretty clicky back then. in the early 90s from what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Florida or nationwide? Florida?
It's South Florida, yeah.
Yeah. Now, I mean, it's like you said it before. This is the mecca for not only jiu-jitsu but MMA. I mean, this
New
is
New York, South Florida, South California.
Cali, California.
That's it.
And now Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I guess. Now Puerto Rico.
All right, so we have another question from Reggie Desdunes. I should probably know this is a Spanish name, I think. Desdunes.
Where am I reading? Desdunes.
Desdunes.
You're going to say it in Spanish.
Desdunes, sorry. Okay, so what is your favorite submission to use, and what's your least favorite submission to defend? So favorite submission is part one.
Okay.
What's your
favorite
go-to?
submission? I'm triangle. I love the triangle.
Nice.
You know, I love that you can throw it in all different angles, and every time I have the opportunity to learn from a new angle, I throw that on. I was working a reverse triangle the other day, and it was incredible. It's coming from a sweep, so definitely the triangle. The least, I don't know.
Your least favorite to defend is the question.
What's
your
the
least
one that
What's the one
stuck?
that you're like, damn, I get caught in that every time?
Come on, man. I can't say that out there.
That's okay. We won't tell anybody. There's only like three people listening.
Hey, Milton. It's like me saying, hey, Milton, how can I submit you?
Yeah.
Oh, John,
Hey, John.
My rear naked is chugged in.
John, this is the part where you get to say you're the one you get out of the best and pretend like it's the one that you suck the most at. Yeah.
You know what? Smart guy. Yeah, arm bars. Give me an arm bar.
Yeah. Hitchhiker's Escape.
So I'm working on. I do I don't even know what the pass is called. When I just kind of jump the guard. I just basically jump over your
when you're
guard.
shoving the knees behind you.
I'll just basically hold your legs,
pull down,
push them between my legs, jump on top of somebody. Now I'm 235. So for most of the smaller guys, it's like they see me go. Don't do it. But like I was able to do it on Kyle today because he's so big.
Yeah.
That I jumped. So I've been really trying. I don't get to practice it enough. But once if I get that pass, the triangle, the mounted triangle. So I'm learning how to jump, but then to like when I land to be in the S guard, right?
Yeah.
S mount. To have my leg in the position so that I can grab it, and then I'm working on that. It's difficult to work it on the smaller guys because I might hurt them.
You're already like naturally a can opener guy anyway, so like that works out real good for you.
What's the can? The can opener.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's a can opener.
Well, yeah, he likes
dirty ass fighter.
Yeah, he likes lifting your head.
So wait, let me defend myself on this one. So I've mentioned this a million times on the show, and I definitely recommend it for newer guys, but. Anybody that does this, like you've got to talk to your coach about the move. So when I first started jiu-jitsu, I was addicted to just looking up stuff on YouTube, maybe something we did that day, looking at other videos. And I was a bigger guy. And one of my training partners was 400 pounds. So we kind of had to figure out how to do it like stuff differently on him and him to do it on us. Just he's a big dude. It was just, we had to train differently. But I would always look up sneaky BJJ submissions. That was my search on YouTube all the time. And there was a guy that's actually, long story short, but he was like got in trouble overseas for like messing with small kids. But he had all of these videos on like the really sneaky dirtbag submission. But I didn't know it. I didn't know that it was bad.
So it was fitting for the guy.
Right.
Yeah. So he was a dirtbag in two ways.
Yeah.
So I would do the can opener. You put your elbows kind of on the belly, and I did it to this guy Sedani before your time, and I actually heard him, but once I heard him, then I found out that I'm not supposed to be doing it. But I looked up a video. It was really cool because if I'm in your guard and I do it, you open the guard. Well, he didn't open his guard, and I held his head.
My neck hurts.
And I hurt him pretty bad. But so now I've learned how to, and I believe that I could do it with one hand.
Yep.
I do it with one hand, and people will usually open up the guard because it's so uncomfortable. But I also know not to do it too hard. Not to make their chin really touch their freaking belly button.
You're also exposing yourself to a triangle or an armbar too with one arm reaching like that.
So those are So thank you for bringing that up. Mm-hmm. All right, we've got one more question from David Camacho. How does the Kung Fu philosophy / mindset help your jiu-jitsu?
I think it's one of my advantages. One thing about Kung Fu is we learn to mimic movements, and we learn, we look at something and we can move with it and learn it quickly. And we apply the same mentality to jiu-jitsu. And in Kung Fu, we say we have to do a technique 1,000 times. So we understand that concept. And, say, armbar, we always want to master our fundamentals. So that's the same concept we apply when we train jiu-jitsu or when we teach jiu-jitsu. We try to make sure that all our basics and fundamentals are repeated over and over again until we really get it.
Okay.
So yeah, we do think like Kung Fu guys, hey, listen, go out there 100%, train hard, get it down right, and then go out and try to execute it.
It's pretty hard to find a person that I know of that likes martial arts that like doesn't like Kung Fu. Kung Fu is like, you just immediately go back to it. Like, I make my kids watch Jackie Chan movies from back. I mean, like the old ones,
Right.
like drunken Master, stuff like that. Or they just put Enter the Dragon on Netflix.
I just saw that the other day.
Yeah. So like, I mean, like old school Kung Fu movies, and then also like the super how do you say cinematographic ones, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where it's more of an artistic style.
Yeah.
But then they mimic like like the snake, and they mimic like the bear and the ox, like stuff like that.
What's your
like
take
super
on
cool.
movies, John? Like, I know for me, I have to like really like suspend reality a little bit to really enjoy a martial arts film, because I'm the guy that's like, oh my God, he didn't even touch it with that punch. Come on, he didn't even kick him. Like I've ruined movies for myself.
Or the hits that are like backhanded like this.
Yeah, like what? Are you a fan? Are you a fan? I know you just said when I was a kid, we're all fans of Bruce Lee. What's your take on movies? Are you a fan of the genre?
I used to be a fan, not so much anymore. I enjoy the training aspect of it. But, back then when I was young, I watched every Kung Fu movie, martial arts movie that's come out. Now I get excited when I see jiu-jitsu moves in the movies. I'm like,
right.
Or we go back to Bruce Lee's film and say, hey, look, he tried to do an armbar there,
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
I definitely, like I said, like I love watching martial arts films, but I have to tell myself, okay, don't freaking judge it. Don't try to pick it apart. Just enjoy it for what it was meant to be.
Have you seen the trailer for the new Nicolas Cage Jiu-Jitsu movie?
I refuse to watch it because I have not seen one piece of jiu-jitsu.
We have to watch it and then do comment on it like the whole entire
fight
time.
companion for jiu-jitsu.
But just that movie.
Did you see it, or did you see the trailer?
No, I didn't see. I didn't see. I got to look that up.
You get to use swords in jiu-jitsu.
I mean, so I guess
he's doing jiu-jitsu.
Well, the movie's called
jiu-jitsu.
They have swords,
but it's like, I mean, it's not the jiu-jitsu that we know. It's all striking weapons. I mean, it was everything else, but I know from jiu-jitsu.
The trailer makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's like aliens come. It's like what's the movie with the Alien Predator.
Oh, Predator.
It's kind of like that's it. Like somebody's coming from another dimension or another planet, whatever, and coming here, and they have to fight our warriors, and you get to choose your
skill.
genre. Yeah. So he chooses jiu-jitsu, but there's no jiu-jitsu. I
can't wait to watch it.
Yeah. So
I like training.
It
looks pretty. Don't waste your time,
please.
But I'll watch it.
It looks pretty horrible.
I'd like to see a movie with Predator at a jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Right. All right, so we're gonna get into. Okay, so those were we had our listener questions. So we usually do a little speed round. I've changed these over time, John, but these are just kind of don't have to be one word answers, but usually just we don't comment too much on our end. It's just kind of like your answers, and we'll move to the next question.
Got it.
So, what is your biggest regret as it relates to martial arts? This is always a hard one, by the way.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man! When I was trained with more instructors when I was young.
Yeah.
The Kung Fu mentality is only to train with one and one style. I should adapt this philosophy a lot younger and learn to train with different instructors.
Okay.
Nice.
So this is kind of similar, but definitely it's a little different. If you can go back in time, what would you tell? Let's keep it with jiu-jitsu. What would you tell the white belt you, the second you stepped on that jiu-jitsu mat for the first time? What would you tell yourself?
Master those basics.
Yeah.
Master the basics. Yeah,
cool.
Sure.
So now, other than achieving the rank of black belt, and look, you've obviously achieved so much. You have a school. You've got so much going on. What is your ultimate goal, other than achieving black belt? What's your ultimate goal in jiu-jitsu?
My ultimate goal is pretty easy: is that I can go in there and train every day. And I always say, any day on the mat is a good day for me.
Yeah.
Not to get hurt and very selective who I train with, and just longevity. I want to be able to train jiu-jitsu all the way to 60s, 70s, 80s if I can.
You ever had any major injuries?
Lucky for me, I haven't. One time I did, my training partner next to me, we were rolling, and he swept him, and his heel hit my nose and broke my nose. But that was
that ain't that bad.
That ain't that bad. Man, they stick the thing up and just crack it back.
You still look good, though. You still look good. I think there's some modeling, more modeling jobs out there for you.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I think you just answered our next question, which is, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you on the mat or in your gym?
What's that? Yeah, that was.
That would be it.
Hold on, no, like weird like Wing Chun doll accidents, or I was looking at your like your company's Instagram, and I saw that you guys train, with the weapons, and there was like a young lady with the baggy pants with that really long stick that has like a sword on one end, but has
he's just butchering it.
With
the baggy pants.
Jesus Christ.
If somebody called your jiu-jitsu gi pajamas, because that's just basically what you did. The baggy pants with the stick.
I'm trying to paint a picture.
I'm going to send you a link so you can sign up for a free class.
I'll do it.
Listen, by the way,
I love martial arts, so I'll do it.
What I've been saying to myself, this is the truth. This isn't just because you're on, and this is kind of one of the questions that I was going to ask earlier, but we kind of got away from some of my questions. Was so. Ever since Roberto started following us and I started following him on, I think that Kung Fu is the perfect complement to my jiu-jitsu stand-up. Am I wrong? Is that not just because of, especially when somebody's trying to grab on my gi and grip, and I see the movements of kind of how, you're not like throwing yourself. It's very subtle movements of being able to, to move somebody's hands away from where they're going. Am I wrong here? I always felt it was the perfect complement, and I've always wanted to look into training Wing Chun, right? Wing
Chun.
Wing Chun.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. It actually is, because a lot of move, it depends. It depends how you interpret it. Just like when we learn an arm bar, we're giving everybody tools and they build their own house pretty much. So, for me is, certain moves in Kung Fu do apply. We have a lot of, wrist escapes or, twisting the hands. I use all that, the wrist control, it's all Wing Chun. Like you're in my guard and we're playing that wrist game. It's all the Wing Chun stuff, trapping, pushing away. So it really depends how you interpret it. Every instructor interprets things differently. But that's a pretty good observation, Milton. Jesus, man.
As you said that, you said that, I'm thinking now I've never thought of it. I've always thought of it just as the stand-up side and an entry into a takedown or somebody trying to grab me. Now I'm just thinking in somebody's guard. Again, playing
all of
with the hand fighting and
Tony
fighting.
Ferguson uses it in the MMA.
Send that link. Send that link.
Send that link. That's
Send
right.
That
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll take that frequently.
Bring the whole Jiu-Jitsu Dummies crew down and get Junior in here.
We'll get Bo in there too. But we've been trying to get Bo, our producer. He's amazing. He's awesome. He's super talented. Couldn't do this without him. We've been trying to get him to put on a game. We've been unsuccessful in getting him on the mat.
What's his reservation?
You
guys scare him, man.
No.
For 8:00 on Sunday at the steakhouse. My reservation.
Listen,
I misunderstood.
You could train all day. He lives in Miami, so there's definitely there's more than one gym that would have a time. I really think that he should do it. I don't know if he's gonna do it.
Right.
I believe that he's gonna be the guy that loves it. Like when I said before, you either love it or you hate it. I think once he gets that experience on the mat for the first time, at the right gym, trained properly, going over the base, and you start, you don't just go in, Bo, and they're not teaching you,
You're
how
not
to,
going to mundials on day
chokes
one.
and advanced moves. If you go to the right gym that takes you by the hand and shows you the basics, I think that, you're going to fall in love with it. It's for nothing else. The stress release is, I think, what he would benefit from the most. So. Okay.
Yeah, nothing like a good training session. You walk out of there, roll. You're like, man, I feel good.
Yeah.
You know, you could get back in your car and somebody could road rage you, and you're just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Keep driving.
For real.
Yeah, I'm not
No,
dealing with this
that
thing.
ain't
I'm driving like 5 miles, 10 miles into the speed limit.
That's not happening.
I t-
Road rage, nothing could stop my road rage.
I tell my wife, listen,
you'd be surprised.
if you want to argue, tell my wife, if you're going to argue with me, just, as soon as I get back from jiu-jitsu, I'm like, that's
right.
I'm going to be the most gentle, soft, kindest person in that hour after jiu-jitsu. I'm just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Easy peasy, you know?
It's like fishing, right? Yeah, like a bad day at jiu-jitsu is better than a good day at work.
All right,
Exactly.
next question. If you had to choose only one style of martial arts to defend yourself, what would it be?
I told you that already. Jiu-jitsu.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did. I thought
Yeah.
you might say, because we did also talk about, well, you know, in the street, I'm going to use one thing, right? You know,
Right,
gotta
right.
gotta
I'm
be
gonna use
careful.
run fu.
You're not,
I'm out, bro. if there's anything I've learned in my very short jiu-jitsu
You know what?
career,
I am going to steal that one and use it in my marketing. Don't be surprised I steal that one from you. Run through.
yeah, man.
TM, it's TM, run
Nah,
through
man,
TM.
he offered me a free class
Yep.
on whatever I was trying to
Okay,
explain.
let's go.
It's an even trade.
We're coming. We're coming.
Listen, it's going to be if run food doesn't work, then we got jiu-jitsu or kung fu.
There you
you
go.
go.
I use faint tie.
Faint tie, I like
Yeah.
that one.
Do you
Yeah.
want to ask
Just
our
drop to the ground.
most
Oh, yeah.
challenging question ever?
Well, I'm honored. I get to ask it.
You get to ask the question
Oh,
today.
wow, okay.
This is our last question for you.
All right.
Got it.
Very important, life changing. Thank you for the drum roll.
That
Do
was my
you
stomach.
or do you not wash your belt?
Listen, I read your posts all the time about that. Okay? Like, I never washed my belt in my life.
Really?
Like,
Oh,
really?
no, John.
Cochino.
Listen, I'm clean, man. You bring my belt up, you can bring it to your nose. That's freaking clean.
I'm
Do you-
not worried
hold
about
on,
you.
hold on.
I'm worried about all of those
Hold on.
people that you rolled with. I'm
No.
worried about
Hold
all
on.
the sweat.
No, but
Yeah.
what's your reasoning? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm team wash your belt.
Okay, all right.
But
You don't wash
what's your
your belt.
reasoning?
My reasoning?
Yeah.
Listen, I wash my gi right away.
Yes.
When I go home,
Same.
gi goes straight in. Belt, I mean, I put the belt up. I want it worn out, you know, and it's
I got
don't
it.
know, traditional. What?
That's what it is.
You guys
Tradition
wash your
for you.
belts?
Yeah.
You guys wash your belts?
I wash my belt probably. Well, now I have 2 purple belts, so I'm pretty much washing it after every. I just throw it by the washing machine.
It goes straight in the stinky bag.
Yeah.
And it goes straight in my washer.
We have a sponsor that has like they give you a bag, you put all your stinky gear in, and then you could throw the whole thing in the wash
For the
and
car
it gets
ride.
clean.
Yeah, I got about a 30-minute car ride from my gym because I just moved to Davie, so I'm pretty close to your 222 University location.
Run
In
through,
Plantation.
buddy.
Yeah, man. I could jog to your place. But yeah, I like that thing because before, you know, I'd throw my gi in the back and just on that 30-minute ride home, especially now that it's cold, so you have the heater on in your car, it like makes the car not smell
Smells
good.
like fried fish.
Exactly.
And I'll take a look. I'm going to read up some more about this washing the belt. And now you got my mind thinking, like, do I wash my belt? I'm going to ask a couple of the black belts that I train with to see if they wash their belt.
Let's get
If
a
they say
poll.
no, that's it.
Let's get
I
a
think
poll.
we've had like 50. I don't know. I'm going to say 60-40, 60%.
Don't wash your belt.
No,
No,
wash.
don't wash your belt.
Ever since we started doing more of the interview style, because you know we started the podcast, it was a round table, so we'd have a guest, but everything was in studio. Then COVID happened, so we went to a little bit more of a fewer guys in studio and a guest. As soon as we went to this style, like I got a lot more guys saying that they were
washing their belt. You think it's peer pressure because of COVID?
No, I think most of
Maybe.
the guys said that they were doing it. Listen, I get the whole like I don't want it to wear out and you know washing it makes it wear and it takes the color away. I want it to show you know to wear from the training. I get that.
My only concern is sometimes like I ask myself, I was like, okay, am I disrespecting the tradition by washing my belt, or is it like, do I not respect my belt enough by washing it? Or to me, it's just like, yo, it's dirty. I'm just gonna throw it in.
That's it. That's all.
I don't think
I've never not rolled with somebody. Like I don't ask anybody, did you wash your belt? Because I can't roll.
I don't.
Here's an
I'm
outside,
not doing that.
Here's an outside perspective. I think if there's no blood from the victim, then you should just wash it.
The victim.
You know, blood from the victim.
There's always blood. There's always blood. Come on.
There is.
All right, John.
Yeah,
listen.
go
ahead.
What about wait a second. What about the stripes? If you wash it, listen, I worked hard for those stripes.
Man, we go to that
Won't
school.
the stripes come off?
If you get some good tape, it doesn't come off. What I do,
you dry it,
I
actually.
usually wind up putting a lot of tape around each one because it comes off a little bit, then you just rip it, and there's still plenty of tape there.
Bro, we don't get stripes at our school. You just show up one day and you get a new belt.
He stops. You guys do stripes over there, John?
Yeah.
Yeah. He does it for the kids. For the adults, it's usually,
I find that if you dry it with the tape on the first day, it adheres to the belt.
Yeah.
Because it's electrical tape.
Thing is, you dry your belt, it's like shrinks half a size.
Eat a salad, bro.
All right. On that note, John, listen, I want to thank you for being with us. We really appreciate it. We'll let you know when this comes out. We usually launch kind of the following week. So today's Saturday, usually by Tuesday, Wednesday, depending on how Bo feels. How quick how he feels and how quickly he gets this done.
I have a stomach ache. I can't do it this week. No.
we'll get it out. We'll let you know. But again, we definitely appreciate. And I'm being serious. I think
you want to stop by.
That we'd love to come by and maybe take a class and
that'd be awesome.
And check out some kung fu.
Anytime you guys got me thinking, I'm gonna just do a Wing Chun class for jiu-jitsu guys like you.
Jiu-Jitsu specific training.
Specific training. But listen, thank you very much for having me on, and
thank you.
You guys are doing great thing. I'm a huge fan of you guys, and
thank you, man.
Promoting.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it. We're going to let you go. We got stick around. Our listeners, stick around. We got some other stuff for you. But John, thank you very much. We're going to let you run.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was awesome.
Very cool. Super nice guy.
Yeah.
I like him.
I like him a lot.
I like him a lot.
John Way.
Definitely a good guy.
You know they make a 30? You know how it's
No.
tall? Yeah, it's tall, grande, venti, then there's 30.
But that's new.
30.
That's new.
So like
30
a
ounces.
big
bro.
gulp.
That's
It's
new.
new. Yeah,
That's
it's new.
brand new.
It's like a coffee big gulp.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
But they did it like is it Italian that they're using? Because venti is 20 in Italian, right?
Right.
Yeah, so 30 is, sounds like Spanish, but
30.
yeah. 30.
300 is 300.
300. Of course you know how to speak Italian.
Bucket coffee.
I take a 300.
So
bucket of espresso.
Let's go through some of our stuff, and then we're going to jump into technique. Let's see how this. We're gonna actually do a review on air. Yeah. So real quick, let's get some stuff out of the way, and then we'll jump into that, and we can play with it a little bit.
G-string review.
So guys, stick around. We're going to show you how to use the Technique website. So we've started a new GoFundMe. So we're on, it's charity.gofundme.com. You can just search for the Jiu-Jitsu Dummies. It's the non-profit side of GoFundMe, right? Because GoFundMe is like anybody can raise money.
Right, for anything.
We've started a page on the charity non-profit side. We're probably going to do something as well on the regular GoFundMe.
Right.
But we're also going to we're going to reintroduce awarding scholarships to veterans, first responders,
got it,
and children. So we've got two child youth scholarships that we gave out.
Yeah.
So the next one's going to be to either first responder or veteran. We're going to ask the public to give us some
suggestions,
some nominations. Nominate somebody who's deserving, somebody who's done something spectacular in the world. And again, we want to do something with veterans. We're not, We Defy, who we kind of partner with on the show here. They do stuff for wounded combat veterans. So we're just doing,
wounded warriors.
We're going to do something where that doesn't factor in. We're looking for people doing some really cool things, either in that world or look. The Gracies do this a lot, where they'll see a police officer getting it,
or the kid. Remember the kid in school who got beat up,
kids, and they offer them free. Well, look, they don't have to be doing jiu-jitsu. we'll award a scholarship to somebody who wants to do jiu-jitsu or needs to do jiu-jitsu. But it's also, I really do love hearing stories about people in our world that are doing really cool things.
Right.
And I think that, listen, it's deserving. They're deserving of, hey, the cool prize of us paying for their jiu-jitsu for the next year.
If you can, why not?
Yeah.
So, also, can we just make a quick clause? If you are a child veteran that is now a first responder, you automatically get it.
If that exists. So look, it's easy. We'll put the GoFundMe link in our description, whether you're listening just the podcast sound, or if you're listening and watching on YouTube, just scroll down to the description of the video or the podcast, and you'll see the link to the GoFundMe. If you want to make it easier, you can go to our Instagram, click on the link in the bio. That's our link tree. Click on it. You'll see it right there at the top. The other side is you can go to our foundation Instagram or our foundation Facebook page, and each of those pages has a donation page.
Just search Jiu-Jitsu Dummies, and you will get there.
At the JJD Foundation on Instagram, there's a donate button right there at the top, or facebook.com/ and then type it all out. The Jiu-Jitsu Dummies Foundation. And again, both of those pages have a donate button. Special thank you to Dave Kaidash from Road BJJ and Road Revolution.
Hey.
He's been a huge supporter of not only the foundation, he's also going to be awarding our December Patreon raffle winner. So I still have to award last month's Patreon winner, but they're going to get gear not from us, but they're going to get gear from either Road Revolution and or, it just happens to be on the screen,
hey.
Road Revolution or Road BJJ. They've got patches, stickers, T-shirts.
Cool logo.
I believe they have sweatshirts as well. So he's helped us out with a lot of stuff with the foundation. He's donated money, and now he's donated $100 worth of gear. So
nice.
I'm going to be awarding that probably by the time this airs. That'll have happened. You can check out our podcast store at jujitsudummies.shop. Instead of .com, it's .shop. 15% off with code JJD. Ranked rash guards, tees, face shields, backpacks, all the goodies, coffee mugs.
My favorite.
Free shipping on orders over $50. Okay, so we really appreciate the support there. All right, so let's take a look at technique. Bo, you got it on the screen there, right?
Yes.
I think we can just put that up. So technique.io. All right, so if you're going to the website for the first time, you're going to see the how it works images here. You can see your featured pro. I believe, right, I'd be able to go into, there you go. I go into Christina Barlin.
You get to choose who critiques your video.
Yes, you get to choose who you want to critique your video. If you scroll down again, it'll give you kind of how it works.
Needs to get on this.
If I request the analysis, I have to then put my information, set up a password, set up a login, or sign up, and then it's pretty much on the other side of this. You're uploading your video, and you're going to make your payment.
You made payment.
From what I understand from speaking to Alex, because I haven't uploaded one myself, and made a payment, is you get charged after you receive the video. They have about 7 days. The pro has 7 days to return your video with what we're about to show you, which is the voiceover side of this, which is the analysis side.
No ticky, no laundry.
There you go.
Got it.
All right. So let's take a step back here. Let me log in. Everybody close your eyes. Don't look at my login.
Oh, I saw your login. I'm going to go in and steal your data.
All right. So if you're a pro, this is what it's going to look like on your side. And again, if you're somebody who believes that you're a pro, you're a bigger name, you believe you can add some value to the website, just reach out to them on Instagram at technique.io, TEKNEEK.io. Use the .io even on Instagram, and just send them a direct message. Let them know that you want to get on the platform, and they'll walk you through. You can't just sign up as a pro just yet on the site.
You have to get verified.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So as a pro, we made the show The Pro. So it's going to be you, me, and Junior doing this. If we get, ours is $5. We just extra $5.
You might have just opened up a really bad box.
Why?
That's a very low entry fee. We might get some videos, and we have to review them.
Yeah.
For
why
$5.
not?
I know. Yeah, it sounds fun.
No. Well,
I'm already thinking of excuses to tell my wife. Babe,
we're not going to spend all day reviewing videos.
I will.
So I went to. You go to analysis, and that's Alex, one of the owners. He actually just submitted some test videos for us. This video here happens to be Britt Tavar.
Got it.
She's one of our first podcast Patreon podcast patrons. So he uploaded a video, and I hope he got a permission for us to use it on the show. He put it there because he knew I was going to use it. All right. So as a pro, you've clicked on analysis. You click on the video. And by the way, just so you know, like it's oldest from right to left on the screen. So if I'm a pro, I'm going to make sure that I get these out in 7 days. I'm going to go to the oldest one on the right. So, but we're going to use Britt's. So this is really cool. This is the really cool part. So we're actually going to start recording.
Oh, look. She's in the navy blue gi.
Yep. So, yeah,
right?
So you get some instructions.
Wants feedback on uploading this for Britt at Milton's request.
Okay. But if she uploaded this, she'd be able to say, I'm really looking for some help with my guard passing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. She'd be able to talk a little bit about what she's requesting.
Got it.
And what she's looking for feedback on. I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit. Let's bring this down a little bit.
Enhance.
Okay, something like that. Okay, so once we hit start recording, we're going to be able to voice over. We can start and stop, and we'll kind of show a little bit here on what we can do. So let's just jump in. So start recording. Okay, we don't hear her sound. It is now recording. You see the little
that's us.
The mic. Yep, that's us.
We're
not hearing her sound because then we've got to record over
some
that.
grip fighting.
So
proposing.
Let's pause it right here. Let's just give her a huge shout out for the hairdo.
That's awesome.
Looking good, Britt. That's I love the color. Okay, let's jump back in. I believe that she's fighting a purple belt here. She's got a purple belt and a purple gi.
Yes.
I'm guessing she's purple. All right, so I did watch this video before, and the one thing that I noticed here, again, we can stop. If I click on the screen, I believe it'll stop. I think she really needs to be working on this grip here. She's kind of fighting. I think she's like fighting for her own grips on the pants. She really probably wants to break this grip first. She's already giving her like a side view here.
Yeah.
And you got the potential
you want to square up. Every time you're in De La Hiva, you want to square up or even point that knee out in the opposite direction and create pressure that way.
So we'll go back to play. You see, she looked like she was trying to get the De La Hiva.
That. Yep.
So continue here. The girl in the purple, she's a little bit of a butterfly there. Okay.
Yeah. It's very...
Yeah. Now, one of the things I do here, we'll use the controls here. Let's go back. We can go back at 5 frames at a time. One of the really cool things that I'll do here, I'm just clicking back. Okay. You see how she's got her foot there?
Yep.
Right.
She's
got the foot right here.
She's
right?
reaching across her body to grab that foot.
So, one of the things that I like to do is actually, if I'm in this position, I might kind of hug. I might put my face in her belly and hug and grab that leg, put my right hand under her opponent's left foot, and then grab that foot from underneath.
Yeah.
Usually do that from butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
I like to do that. I don't think this is going to get her anywhere. This doesn't get her anywhere good because you got to, again, you're kind of giving her your side, right?
Mm-hmm.
She has the ability to maybe even take that arm and
it's usually
go for a
not.
triangle.
It's usually not wise to reach across your body in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. So let's continue.
Also proposing, which is what it's called. You see how it's just one knee up and then one leg up.
You call it proposing?
Well, yeah, because you're on one knee. When you do that, a nice omoplata setup. When you're on one knee like that, you might as well just drive that knee in between the legs, you know, to start creating that pressure for either a knee cut or something like that. Oh, look.
So she's got her mounted. She's got her mounted. Oh, scoop the leg.
Right. And a lot of people I've actually watched a couple videos on maintaining mount.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the first rules in maintaining mount is if you feel like the mount is going, astray, like it's not working out for you, go back to side control. Don't just commit to that because from there, she could get the underhook and start working the other leg in and get a butterfly sweep or a sweep even like that. It's like, bam, if that was competition right there, that's 2 points. That's a sweep. Good pressure pass, long step, but that's not the right person we're commenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good defense right there. She's working on getting her grips underneath the neck.
Okay.
Keeping that leg up. That's good.
So one of the things I noticed before that I think she's about to do here.
Ooh.
All right. So little knee on belly. Okay.
A lot of movement,
scramble,
which is good. She's trying to recover guard, which is really good. You know.
So here does she have
staying
her
on
foot?
her side.
Does she have her foot there?
Yes.
Yeah. She's got a.
She's got it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 3/4 guard now.
All right. Here's that S mount that I was talking about in the triangle before. Okay.
Her name's Bree, right? Brit. She moves around a lot, which is good. She's not very stagnant.
So let's go back here. So I noticed this before. Let's actually go back a couple of frames. When
commenting is very difficult.
So right here, she's got. I don't really think that she's
the wrong side. She noticed it.
She's got it the wrong side, but she's also crossing her feet versus putting the bottom of her foot on her leg. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Right. You want to be able to see here. That's not right.
Even
now she did it where she's also holding her body so that she can't. She's limiting the space for this young woman to pass or to mount. Excuse me. But okay, she went back to the other. Crossing the leg isn't doing anything. She's got to put that foot on her thigh or on her knee.
I don't even get the purpose of putting that leg up.
Well, yeah. I mean, she really needed to do it on the side where the girl could mount or pass.
That was nice. So, this is actually a really good roll in terms of how they're both flowing with each other.
So I think she's got. I couldn't really see before. I think she might actually have a foot here. I think the
knee bar.
The bell's about to ring. So I don't know if she taps here at the end.
A blue belt's allowed to do knee bars? Yeah, it's a knee bar.
She did tap, so she's got a nice knee bar there. So
I wish I could do knee bars.
The girl celebrate. I don't know if she's celebrating because Britt got the knee bar. I thought maybe I didn't see it the first time. I thought maybe it was the end of the round, and she was like, "Yeah, that was a great roll." So okay, look. So there you go. So Britt, we're going to submit this. I'm not sure if this is just a test and it's going to go to Alex or if he'll send it over to you.
I would put way more thought into this.
Yeah, look, this is
in terms of commenting. I'm just saying, if it came my way,
we are the Jiu-Jitsu dummies.
I get it.
We are the Jiu-Jitsu dummies. I was going to start commenting on the guy back here.
Oh yeah,
these guys were trying to murder each other back there, but we wanted to show everybody how easy this is from both sides. You upload, you're going to choose your pro. You're going to upload. You're going to get some feedback within 7 days. I end the recording here, and I can watch my recording back. I can preview,
right,
or I can click on publish, and it's going to go through, and that's it. And it would submit this video to them, to the person that requested, and it's also going to do the charge. The charge
the fund with transfer.
The final charge is going to be, and as you notice, the analysis under the analysis tab, now it's gone. It went through.
It's a really clean web page.
My next one. So, pretty cool, right?
It's a good UX too, yeah.
So I believe.
Oh, you have a completed tab, and now you see you have a record.
Yep, I actually have 2. I think in there. The first one that I played with, and now that one's processing. So very cool, everybody. Look, at the end of the day, I'm loving this platform. He approached me. They approached us. Britt. He trains with Britt. Britt's a podcast patron.
And then it's also tied into Fight Back.
Fight Back, CBD. They all train together.
So they're out of Texas.
Yeah, I had just gotten the Master Ken cameo,
right?
And I'm talking to him, and I'm like, "This is like kind of cameo. I just did it." He's like, "Yes." He's like, "Yes." That's a great way of explaining it. So I think it's really cool. I
completely forgot about cameo too. You told me about that.
Yeah, that was when I put the Master Ken video up, I kind of cut out the cameo at the bottom because I wanted to. I did just on the first post. But anyway, yeah, that was a cameo. And look, it was just a really cool way of getting feedback as they grow and they add bigger names and different pros. Real cool way of getting, a pro that maybe you're a fan of that can, actually, give you some good feedback. We're good. Yeah, okay, so everybody listen, go check out technique.io, upload your video. And have fun, and let's support those supporting the jiu-jitsu community.
I'm gonna upload both my matches from my BJJ.
Cool, yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah, just give it a shot.
Check it out. All right, everybody, thank you so much for sticking with us. Again, I'm Milton Campus at Uncle Milty BJJ on IG.
Yep, and Miguel Lecadica at MLJ Rico.
And Bo, you want to give out left-handy again? Left-hander? Left-handy. What was it? Handy wisdom.
Handy_wisdom.
Yeah.
On IG.
And his name is
left-hander.
Hander.
It's left-hander.
What did you say? He's Norwegian?
Well, he's Swedish by origin.
Go check it out,
but
everybody.
He's from Brooklyn.
You'll know what we're talking about.
He's a very nice guy.
All right, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for watching, listening.
All right,
Stay safe. Us.
Enjoy the fights.
All right, guys.
We need puppets. We need like little. We need crash test dummy puppets. That's all.